Hello, I am Dr. Gankenstein, and here is my No-Proc Gank Penetrator build. Yeah, you see me dancing? Okay. So, let's see, the gear. It's going to be a big surprise to everybody, but we're going to go 5 Spriggans. Get this. Wrap your mind around this. Spriggan's bow. Sharpen. Shock glyph. We're talking maximum penetration, folks. We're going in deep. We're going in deep. Or whatever. Back bar Spriggan's two-handed sword. Alright, next we have One Piece Slime Craw. I recommend going with the helmet on this, because as soon as somebody sees that, they're probably going to get scared and run away, and then you start shooting them in the back. You just start laying into them. I know I would run away. If I saw that, I'd run away. That's all I know. 9 times out of 10, they're going to see that and run away, because they're going to know this guy is serious. Alright, for the other monster set piece, we have One Piece Crags with an additional 1487 physical penetration. Also, all these pieces are going to be in Divines, so that way you get the maximum potential out of your Mundus Stone, out of your Lover Mundus Stone. Alright, let's keep moving on with this build in our lives. Just when you thought we couldn't go any deeper, we did. Alright, we're also running a 5-piece Pestilent Host. Okay, although you won't get the proc from the 5th piece bonus, you'll still get the penetration, so it's just going to be like 2974 altogether. So it's kind of like a mini version, a little ugly baby version of Spriggans. All of your jewelry will be infused with weapon damage glyphs. I just don't think you guys realize how much penetration this is. Alright, let's look at the stats. Let's buff up and look at the stats. Alright, first thing you notice, we have horrible recovery, but no one cares on a setup like this. Our weapon damage is 5100, just over 5100. Weapon crit is 40.5%. The only drawback of this setup is kind of a low crit. Physical penetration is 18,660. Now, if you go to a Nernhone, it drops down to about 1500-ish or whatever. And the stats are not looking too bad. And you're going to want to be at least Vampire Stage 1 for the Dark Stalker passive, which makes you ignore the movement speed penalty of Sneak. If you go to Stage 2, you got to be careful because you might be doing too much damage, and that's how you end up getting nerfed. I usually go with a Tri-Stat food, just so I have more Magicka, but with this update, your stats are going to be a little bit more beefy, so you might get away with running like Dubious or some kind of sustain food. Alright, this is it, folks. The Lover Mundus. When you run all Divines, this is going to give you 4,489 goddamn spell and physical penetration. God damn. God damn. Yeah. That was a little hard getting out because I was trying to read and do math at the same time. Does reading numbers count as doing math? I don't know. Moving on. Alright, let's take a look at the skills. I went ahead with Focused Aim over Lethal Arrow because it's got a little further range, and the debuff lasts 10 seconds as opposed to a 4-second Minor Defile, which is borderline trash now. Okay, next I went with Silver Shards. I found this ability pretty useful, like when I'm shooting somebody and then let's say they move and then I hit somebody else by accident. If I hit them with this, chances are they're still going to get hit. They'll still be within the radius, and they'll end up getting hit anyway and killed. And sometimes it's fun to hit globs of Zergs with this ability, so you see a bunch of numbers flying up on your screen. Alright, I'm using Mass Hysteria for our crowd control. I mean, you could probably slot Shade if you're used to using that. I'm just not really good at using it yet. And then I have Reaper's Mark on my bar, mainly because it doesn't cost anything to use. And I find myself using this against guards a lot more than like actual players. But you want to have something from your assassination line on your main bar for the hemorrhage passive. Alright, then I have Camo Hunter slotted just for the passive. The actual ability, I know it says with a radius of 6 meters, but it doesn't feel like that. It's almost like you got to be standing right on top of the guy just for it to pop him. Alright, next we have Toxic Barrage for the ultimate. Now this is pretty good because after it's done shooting them, it'll put a dot on them, and a lot of times I get kills from that dot. Now the drawback of it is if you're fighting like another Nightblade, then they can just cloak, and a lot of times it'll line of sight it, and it'll just cancel. So if you're ever getting shot by this, you can either, if you can't line of sight it, either cloak or keep dodge rolling because it hits pretty hard. Okay, on the back bar I went with Temporal Guard. The other morph will work too. It's actually, I think it's a little better. I'm still flip-flopping. The other morph lets you use it while you're CC'd, which is also good. Okay, then we have Concealed Weapon. I just have this slotted so that way I get the passive to my movement speed while in sneak. So it says while slotted, your movement speed while sneaking or invisible is increased by 25%. And this is pretty useful considering you don't have Ring of the Wild Hunt anymore, and you're gonna have to be moving around a lot, and there's a lot of sorks out there, and you gotta watch out. You gotta be able to get away from them. Okay, next we have Rally. This is our damage buff / heal. Then we have Channeled Acceleration. This is good for when you need that turbo boost, and it also has Minor Force for 36 seconds. This will buff your crit damage by 10%. Alright, and then next we have Leeching Strikes. This is just to help with your stamina sustain. Now the heal you get from the light and heavy attacks is actually pretty good too, and it's actually probably saved me a few times. Not often, but a few times. And then we have Cloak. Alright, so those are the skills. Oh, one more thing. I want to go over a few passives. It's been a while since I've done that. First one is Hemorrhage. So with an assassination ability slotted, increase your critical damage done by 10%. And it also, if you do critical damage, you get minor savagery for you and your group. Okay, then we have the Legerdemain passive, Improved Hiding. What this does is it reduces your cost of sneak by 40%, and this is a pretty big deal, especially if you're going from a CP campaign where you have the champion points to decreases that anyway, but if you go from CP to no CP, it makes a big difference. Very noticeable. Alright, one last thing. I want to show you guys after you shoot something, your crit rating is going to go up. Okay, so it goes from 40% to 46.5, and then that's it. Alright, so the gameplay clips you saw in the beginning of the video, that was before the Flames of Ambition patch. The ones you're about to watch after this, these are all right after the patch launched. Some commentary here, just want to go over a couple things. So this is my first victim. I wanted to test this snipe speed out. So I usually don't just spam snipe like this, but I wanted to try it out. I mean, obviously he's trying out different stuff too. I mean, this is like morning of. This source can hit pretty damn hard right now. Right, so I give him the Toxic Barrage, and then I'm about to miss, but the dot from that actually gets him right there. Then you gotta do a little dance or something. Right, he came back out 2 more times. The last time he got me, he was just on top of his shield game. That's for sure. It was real hard to get through those. There's just some bubbles the Penetrator can't pierce. I mean, probably helped out that I had all these guards on my team. But yeah, he just took a pretty big hit right there, 10k. So that light armor is pretty squishy. Heavy armor is a different story. You'll know when you guys hit somebody wearing all heavy. All right, and then yeah, another sword. Can you believe it? So he goes down pretty fast. I have a feeling this guy's going to come back like immediately. So I tried to intercept him on the way. So you can see my combo there. I had no crits. I think at the time I was running 1 Veldreth and then 1 Krags, and that's why I made the decision to swap it for 1 Krags and then 1 Slime Craw. Alright, that's all the commentary. I'm just going to leave you guys with some more gameplay footage. See you guys later.